Hello everybody, my name is Nardeen Faragalla and I'm a health coach. In my work as a health coach, I do a lot of work with lifestyle and habits, how to create new habits, how to break old habits, and how those habits contribute to a healthier lifestyle. I've done a fair amount of research on how habits work, but also just observing how habits play out in my own life, in the lives of my friends and my family, and of course my clients. In those kind of observations, I've come to think of habits as the bridge between who we want to be and who we actually are. The reason I say that is because I think all of our actions communicate something about what we believe ourselves to be, who we believe ourselves to be. And so every time you take an action, it's communicating something to yourself, of course to other people, but first and foremost to yourself about who you believe yourself to be. Most of the definitions that you're going to hear about habits is how a habit is an unconscious action. At one point it was conscious, at one point you had to make a decision to do that action, and then over time, over repeated time of doing that action, now it's no longer, you don't need to think about it. The best example of that, of course, is brushing your teeth. I think most people, before they go to sleep, they brush their teeth, they don't really think about it, but obviously when you were a child, and if you're a parent and you had to teach your children how to brush their teeth, you know that it doesn't start as an unconscious action, but over time, repeatedly, it becomes something that you don't really think about. And the way that you actually know that a habit has taken root is that it's easier to do this habit than to not do this habit. If you think about the example of brushing your teeth, it's a lot harder to go to sleep without going to brush your teeth if you already do that. So that's kind of how you know, and that's how habits become unconscious. Now, the cool thing is that once a habit becomes a habit, you don't really need to think about it and you continue it over time. The tricky part is when you're trying to either break a new habit or break an old habit or start a new habit, you have to actually bring your habits into your consciousness. You have to be aware of what habits you actually do. And so the first step in creating a new healthy lifestyle and creating new habits is actually just taking stock of what you already do. And so I would encourage you to do that just over the course of the next few days. Just think about some of the habits that are already in your life, especially in this time of staying at home and under stay-at-home orders. There may be some habits that were actually a part of your normal, quote unquote, normal life of when you used to go to work or school or whatever. Some of those habits are not necessary anymore and you might have stopped doing them. They might have actually been good habits. There are also potentially some habits that you might have started during the stay-at-home time that could be good or bad. And so just take stock of some of those habits, bring them and start noticing them, and start noticing what some of them actually tell you about who you believe yourself to be. Once you can identify that, then you can identify the gap, if there is a gap, between who you actually want to be and who you're living life as, who you are creating as this creature of habit, because habits, actions, they're all contributing to your lifestyle and creating a person. So if you can identify that gap between the way that you're acting now and the way that you actually want to be, that is absolutely the first step to creating new habits, to breaking old habits, and to becoming the person that you want to be. And during this stay-at-home time, what better time to do that when you might find yourself with more time, possibly less if you have kids in the house, but actually you can start doing this with your kids as well. So when you're at home, when you're still under these stay-at-home orders, you actually have more time to create some of the habits that you might have wanted to in the past, and some of the things that you might have wanted to do before and are a part of who you want to be, but you never had the time to do them. So take that time in the next few days, just notice the habits that you're already doing, notice what it's saying about who you are, and try to start identifying that gap between the habits that you already do that are communicating something about yourself that is not who you want to be. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.